record.
Hi, this is Paula Kinney from Love Your Nest Kitchen Design Studio. Today we're going to talk about selecting backsplash tile. I'm at one of my favorite places to select backsplash tile. We're at Dale Tile here in Bedford Heights on Richmond Road. It's a newer showroom for them. It's a great place to come look for tile. Keep in mind, it's only open to the trade, so you as a regular consumer can't come in, but your designer, your contractor, anyone like that can come in and purchase the tile for you. They just have a wide selection, and you always want to be able to choose from the broadest selection possible. You don't want to, a month after your kitchen's done, say, oh my gosh, I wish I'd seen that. So you want to search round and round to find the best. So one of the things to consider is choose your backsplash tile before you're ready to begin your project. A lot of times clients and consumers are so overwhelmed with all the choices they made, they're like, I'm just gonna pick the backsplash tile after the countertops are in. If you do that, you just limit your options, because there may be a situation where one or another countertop may have been a better choice for the tile you find that you actually love, but because you've already selected your countertop, you're kind of stuck with one of the options that may not be your favorite. So I always say you follow the 7 steps to stress-free kitchen remodel and you will be stress-free. So one of the things you want to consider is whether or not you want your backsplash to be the star of the show or your countertops. You really don't want them to compete. So for example, if you're choosing a pretty simple countertop like this, and then you can go for a wow backsplash. So always keep in mind the adjoining rooms. A lot of times family rooms are open to the kitchen. You want to make sure your color palette and also the style fits in with the overall theme of your home, because again, you don't want your kitchen to look like it belongs in someone else's house. So one of the other things to consider is not just think outside of the shape of a tile. For example, this is just a regular subway tile, and so is this. However, it can be installed many different ways. It can be installed vertically. It can be installed on an angle as a herringbone pattern. So even though you choose a simple tile, it doesn't have to say wow. It can be a simple tile, but it can be installed so that it gives you more dimension and a little more impact than just in the background. For example, this tile right here, although it's just one solid color, because it's raised and it has different angles, it might be hard for you to see. It makes a big statement without taking over the room. So for those who don't really want their backsplash to say wow, but you don't want it to fade into the background as if it's you might want to choose something like this. Another one of my favorite things to do right now is, I've been telling my contractors, I'm installing all my tile vertically for 2018, because I just feel like, for example, this tile right here is going into a kitchen on Monday. We're almost done. The granite countertop is being installed as we speak, but we're installing the backsplash this way. Isn't this gorgeous? So although it's a pretty simple tile, it almost has like a mirrored effect, and it is a glass tile, which I have mixed feelings about that, but we'll talk about that later. It's gonna be installed vertically. The kitchen is not that big, but the fact that we're installing it vertically is gonna make the kitchen appear larger, taller, and give a great impact without actually taking over the room, because the granite that we chose is pretty exotic, and it's kind of like a wow. We didn't want the backsplash to fall flat, but we did want to make some dimension, but not with a lot of color and that kind of thing. The other thing, as I always say, take as many things as possible with you. If you have your flooring, take it with you. If you have a sample of your countertop, take that with you. Your door, you want to bring that. If you have fabric that's going in the room, bring that also. Never skimp on buying samples. Even though it may not be your final choice, pay the $30, $40, $50. It's better to do that than pay hundreds of dollars, waste hundreds of dollars later, because once everything comes together, the look is not quite what you want. So keep that in mind. This is another tile that can be installed either way. I love this. So it has like a stone and a glass too. This one I really like. So Again, just keep in mind which item you want to be the star of the show, your countertop or your tile. Both of them really shouldn't be, unless that's your personality and you're just, you know, fabulous, over the top. Go for it. But I usually like one or the other to be the star of the show. The other thing is, tile backsplash are one of the least expensive items you can change down the road. So say 4 or 5 years down the road, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of looking at that tile. That's a pretty easy change. Unlike flooring, countertops, cabinets, you can change your backsplash, or even if you have an existing kitchen now and you want to update your look, you can change your backsplash a lot easier than you can change most other things. And because it covers such a large expanse of space in your kitchen, it makes a huge impact. So those are my tips for selecting your tile backsplash. And like I said, bring all your items, consider the adjoining rooms, and decide which item you want to be the star of the show, your backsplash or your countertop. Now, we're going to talk briefly about choosing paint colors. It's all subjective, but I do want to give you some ideas about how to choose. That's usually the last thing we choose. I always apply samples to the wall so that my clients can live with it a few days. I want you to see it in the daytime. I want you to see it midday. I want you to see it at night. You need to know for sure that you love the color, because once it's painted and you don't like it, the painter's still going to charge you again to repaint. So I want you to be sure. So one of my favorite things to do is I always buy these Sure swatches. They're a clear paintable film that you can put on the wall. You can move it around. I always purchase paint samples, which you can get for $4 or $5. Sherwin-Williams, though, theirs are a little more expensive, more like $7. Again, small price to pay versus paying the painter to paint, buying all the materials, and then you hate the color. So let me show you a little bit about how the Sure Swatch works. It comes in a pack of 3. It's just a clear film. Just get a sponge, paint on it. You can move it around. You can just move it on the wall. You want to see what it looks like. Low to the floor, where there's more sunlight in the room, where there's not a lot of sunlight. Those are the things you want to consider, because that's going to be your entire room. So it's a good idea to maybe try a couple different shades of the same color, because sometimes just one shade above or below makes a huge difference. So again, very inexpensive to buy the samples, a lot more expensive to change the wall color once it's on the wall. So that's all I have for you today. I'm Paula Kinney from Love Your Nest Kitchen Design Studio. You can find me on the web at www.loveyournest.co. We love to help busy families create new kitchens. And that's it. Have a happy weekend. Thank you.